Alright, hello guys, welcome back to Intro to Solidworks. I want to start this video with a little disclaimer. I have some remodeling going at the house today. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 roofers tearing off the roof of my home, and they are hammering down plywood and ripping up shingles, nailing down new shingles, and it's just a big noisy mess over here at the DC household. So I thought I would let you know if you hear any of that in the background, that is the noise you're hearing, and I do apologize for that, but it was important for me to get you guys this video because this video is going to be all about the loft tool. This is a part here that I created using the loft tool, and lofting in Solidworks is a fantastic tool. It's a fantastic process. It's a difficult process. It's an advanced process, but it is one of the ways that we can get in here and start to create some sort of organic and very rounded pillowed shapes. And one of the preconceptions about SolidWorks is that those types of things aren't really able to be made in this program. So lofting is the way to do it, and so let me show you how to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just create a brand new file. Go ahead and hit OK. And I'm going to go to my right plane here and do a sketch, and I'm going to jump up here and I'm going to throw out a nice ellipse like that. Hit escape, and I'm going to exit out of that sketch. I'm going to go back to 3D, zoom out a little. We're going to go here to our top plane next. We'll create a sketch in the top plane. I'm going to look normal to the top plane. You can see the sketch I first created in gray here. And I'm going to go over here and just knock out an ellipse like that. And I will throw on some dimensions to just get it to the shape that I want. There we go. So now you can see what I've done here. I've created two profile curves. Each one is on a different plane right here. Let's get rid of that front plane, please. There we go. So I created these two profile curves, right plane, front plane, top plane, and there you go. And so now we're going to create a loft between the two. Grab my lofted boss base tool, and you can see here that it's asking for two profiles. And I'm just going to click on that profile curve, and I'm going to click on this profile curve, and it's going to work like a charm, right? Good. There we go. Now, here's what it's done. It's created this lovely surface, this lovely form for us that has connected this shape to this shape. But it hasn't done it in a very attractive way. The way to smooth this thing out, you can see that it starts at this profile curve here and it just jets straight down to the other one. We don't want that. We want this thing to fly out normal to the direction of this plane here. We want it to sort of arc out in a very nice way and then drop down and hit this profile curve right normal to this top plane here. So that way, if we need to mirror it over for any reason, we'll have a nice tangent face where we can mirror over. So let's go ahead and look at how to do that, okay? Because this very first result is not what we want. The way to handle it is up here in Start and End Constraints. Under Start Constraints, we have several different options. We start with none, and we get this. Not cool. Our other one is Direction Vector, which just makes our part disappear. We don't need that right now. The other one is Normal to Profile. Let's play that one. Voila, that's the one we're looking for, okay? You can see that when we fire off Normal to Profile, we do exactly what we want. And we get this little arrow tool in here, that little arrow tool pointing normal to the profile of this plane right here. So that's looking better already. Now let's apply the same constraint to the end of our loft. So we'll go here, End Constraint. We'll cycle through all of them just cause. None does nothing, direction crashes it, and normal to profile makes it look awesome. So normal to profile is the winner for the day, guys. Pick that one, and there you go. So I'm going to go ahead and green checkbox and take a look at what I've done. So voila, I now have this wonderful loft surface. And this is a cool surface. It goes from this skinny little profile up here and arcs way out to meet this larger ellipse here, and there we go. Now this is not a form that we could have made using the tools that we had learned so far in our class. So let's play around with this a little bit more and see if we can mirror this over and make it into something even cooler. Let's grab our mirror tool. Mirror tool is going to ask us for a face or a plane, and then we're just going to go here and click on that face, and we're going to see here that features to mirror is activated, and it's already added in the first loft that we created. And so we're good to go. We can see a little preview over here, a little ghosted preview. Alright, so green checkbox to confirm, and there it is. So now we've got this fun arch here. That's great. Alright, now let's try to mirror it down below and see if we can do that. Alright, so let's grab our mirror tool again, and it's going to ask us for a face or a plane. We're going to swing under here and we're going to grab one of these faces, and it's going to say, okay, features to mirror. It's automatically added mirror 1, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the green checkbox, and it's going to fail. So all truth, this is a on purpose failure. I wanted to show you guys. The reason why this is failing is because it is difficult for Solidworks to mirror this mirror feature. To mirror a mirror can be difficult, and it didn't work here, and it's not mirroring it. Let's try it again and just take a look at the rebuild error. Could not find face or plane. We could maybe select a different face or plane and say, if we wanted to mirror that, we could go open up this design tree, and since we know we built this thing off the top plane, we could try to mirror it over the top plane and hit that. Could not find face or plane. See, it's just not liking that. So instead of shutting down and just calling it a day and saying that we failed, we're going to go ahead and try something different. And here's what we're going to try. I'm going to go to mirror again. I'm going to select this top plane as the plane I want to mirror across. But instead of mirroring the feature, I'm going to clear that selection. I'm going to clear that mirror 1 out of features to mirror. And I'm going to go down here to bodies to mirror. Now bodies to mirror, see what we have here is we have one side of this and we have another side that we mirrored over. But a body would be both of these parts together. And what we want to do is mirror both of these parts together all the way down below. So bodies to mirror. I'm going to hover over the part here, and you see that the whole thing gets an orange outline. Click on that. And then we're going to go in here, merge solids is checked, and knit surfaces is checked too. We're going to check that also. We don't actually have any surfaces right now to knit, but hey, let's just click it anyway. Why not? Go ahead and hit the green checkbox, and there is the thing we are looking for. So now we have this wonderful organic shape that is here, and this is definitely something that would be very difficult to create using the tools we've learned so far. We would have all sorts of fillets and different sorts of cut extrudes going off to make this thing using the tools we've learned so far. But when we use the loft tool, we get a very clean set of beautiful surfaces using only 3 features, just 1 loft and 2 mirrors, and we're right there. So there she is. Now there we go. Now, as I said before, we've got these different parts that are all sticking together. And one way to check to see how they look together is to go here to your Evaluate tab, go to Zebra Stripes. Now, this is a very advanced topic, but as I mentioned in class, as you know, we have one surface that fades into another surface. And what we're doing here with the Zebra Stripes is we're checking to see how these bands of light travel across that precipice. How do they travel across that transition or that connection between those two surfaces? And as you can see, they are not deviated in any way. They don't have a hiccup or an offset, or they smoothly flow over the two surfaces without any sort of jump in quality. And so that's always what you're looking for when you see how they're nice and straight right here. That is totally what you want, because that is telling you that the connection point between these two surfaces is completely invisible, and that is what we want. So there you go. There's a good example of it right down here. Okay, good. So this is it. Nice organic form made in Solidworks. Most people, if you showed them this and said you made it in Solidworks, they wouldn't believe you. And that's because we are using the lofting tool. It doesn't always work, and it takes a little bit of finagling to get in here and to play around with these start and end constraints to make them work and look right. There is the option for guide curves, which is what I tried to do in class, and that can also cause you issues too. Maybe in our next tutorial I'll try to play around with some guide curves and show you guys how that one works. So anyway, do your best and try to make some lofts here, and start to experiment with how this tool works, and feel free to email me with any questions that you may have, and I'll see you in class. All right, thanks a lot.